Here's quote 3. Evan hadn't decided if he thought his cousin had an accident or if he had killed himself by walking into the cold. Page 155. Why depression is mid. Depression in indigenous communities is quite common. Only 2 of 127 residential school survivors were found to be free of mental illness in British Columbia. Aboriginal survivors study around 30% had severe depressive episode. Around 26% had chronic depression, and the rest of the survivors had post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. Suicide is a risk factor for each of these illnesses. According to statistics in Canada, suicide rates among First Nations kids are 5 to 7 times higher than non-Indigenous youth, with Inuit youth having an 11-fold higher rate. Men in First Nations communities are around 2.5 times more likely than the national average to commit suicide, while women are 5 times as likely. Overall message. Mental health issues were very prominent in Moon of the Crusted Snow, and almost every character had some form of a mental health issue. But with their current situation, it is understandable that no one is in a good mindset. But I believe that the overall message from the text is that Indigenous people do not have access to a decent mental health support system, and because of that, things on the reserve slowly fall apart. Indigenous mental health support lines. There are numerous Indigenous mental health support lines and sites for helping the Indigenous that are struggling mentally or just need someone to talk to. Just to name a few, there is the Network for Aboriginal Mental Health Research. There is a database. It is a database that is frequently updated with mental health resources for First Nations. The WNCA Elder Support Line, and the First Nations Métis and Inuit Hope for Wellness Helpline. Thank you for listening.